Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Neelambujasya Balkomalangam Ita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Om Shri Ramcharitmanas, Shri Goswami Tulsidas Ji, in Ayodhya Kand, verse number 279, for reference. At this stage, from storyline, the context is people from King Janaka. Janaka's party has come, vast party. And Ayodhya's party was already there, led by Bharata. They are all in Ram ashram. And their whole project is to persuade Rama to go back to Ayodhya. In his place, Bharata will stay or choose any other alternative. And they were very sure that Rama will follow such an influence from both parties, Ayodhya party and Janakpuri party. The first stage, the scene that is presented to you is Santa Samaj, Mud Mangalamaya Santa Samaju. All good people coming together is Santa Samaj, saintly society. Kamad Bhegiri Ram Prasada Avalokat Apaharat Vishada Sarsarita Banabhumi Vibhaga Janu Umagad Ananda Anuraga. By the grace of Sri Rama, all the hills in that area, it's a big mountain, they all became decked with nourishing substances, fruits, flowers, all types of products that nourish a human being. And they were the source of bestowing fulfillment for all cherished desires. That was Rama's grace, the miracle of Rama's presence. Simply by beholding them, looking at them, the scene of Rama's ashram, just the darshan was enough to dispel all miseries. Everywhere, as if there is a flood of love, prem. Prem is like a mystic ocean. It's a magical ocean, sweeping over everything of the ashram. Its lakes, its rivers, its forests. Subtle insight is behind this, that if you allow the spirit of satsanga to enter your heart, a deep feeling that you are in association with sages and saints, then you are decked with all blessings. Every aspect of your personality will have deep fulfillment. बेली बिटप सब सफल सफूला बोरत खग मृग अलि अनुकूला तेहि अवसर बन अधिक उछाहू त्रिविध समीर सुखद सब काहू. All the fruit trees were filled with fruits, creepers filled with flowers and their products. And the presence of animals and birds, they were all a form of expression of grace, divine grace, because all those animals were cute. Their voices became more inspiring. Birds, animals, black bees, they all started singing chorus, glory of Ram, Ram, Ram Bhajan. I'm adding many poems. And Trivisa Samir, the breeze began to blow, three aspected, Sheetal, cool, Mand, gentle, Sugandh, fragrant. This is pointing finger to, at your deepest core of your personality, you are Satchidananda. So if that revelation becomes possible, then you are being bathed in divine breeze of Satchit Ananda. Sat, cool. Satyameva Jayate. So once you have Sat, you are going to attain victory. How cool. And Chit, who experiences the victory, who reveals the victory, consciousness, Chaitanya. So, and that revelation is hardly you know it. Something is happening. It is ever-present reality, so it is Mand. It has no rush about it. Mand means very gentle. Ananda, Satchit Ananda. Ananda, now it is all full of joy. So, the intrinsic reality of everyone is Satchidananda. And if you are moving towards that reality, your mind is getting drawn to that profound divine presence. Your personality will develop a sense of gracious experience of Sheetal, Mand, Sugandh. Your problems you will handle in a gentle way. Your adversities will become your blessings, because as you triumph over them, you are much stronger than before. And your whole outlook to the life will be extremely positive. Sheetal, Mand, Sugandh. Otherwise, other way around. All this we describe is ideal. So ideal is just to create a deal with your eye. In other words, gain insight that that is the characteristic of your real health. Real health is the health of your soul. Health of the soul is swastha, being sthita prajna, being rooted in the awareness, I am that. I am not this body, not dependent on the world matter. All this is illusion. So that type of experience is the goal of every individual. And that movement towards that is progressive. You don't expect all that to happen immediately. But move on, no matter how distant it may seem to be. If you are moving in the right way, there again you will experience miracle of grace. Your movement in the beginning may seem like very slow and dull. But just like you walk out of your house according to your condition of your legs, but when you enter into your car, it runs faster. When you enter into a plane, now we have acceleration. So if in an ordinary journey you can see all this, this is a divine journey. But what is highlighted, that no matter how terrible may be your adversity and your challenges in life, you will have a spiritual opportunity provided by God's grace to have an internal touch with God's presence, which will be like Sheetal, cool, how cool, Mand, how spontaneous, gentle, Sugandh, and suddenly you have gotten into forest of sandalwood trees, and monkeys have made a paste of them. So it's very fragrant. Jaina barani manohar tai, janumahi karati janakai pahunai. The beauty of the forest is indescribable, as if the entire forest is offering hospitality to King Janaka and his party. Tab sab log nahai nahai, Ram Janaka Muni aya supai. Receiving permission from Rama, King Janaka, and sage Vasishtha, people from Janakpur, they take sacred baths and they enjoy the darshan of beautiful trees. And Dalaphalamul Kanda Vidhinana, Pavan Sundar Sudha Samana, all types of offerings, nourishing foods were presented to people from Janakpuri. What were they? Offerings of leaves. Leaves imply many tasty dishes are made out of leaves. The spinach comes under leaf. Fruits, roots, and all types of nourishing foods. Who gave all this? Sage Vasishtha. Sadar sab kaha Ram gur, pataye bhari bhari bhar. It was Sage Vasishtha who sent all this nourishing stuff with basket loads. Puji pitar sur pati thigur, lage karan bhara farahar. And then receiving all these blessings from Vasishtha, having adored God's forefathers, guests, gurus, they started eating their fruits. This is just an allegorical story. But what does it imply? First thing, in a practical world, when you have satsanga, etc., practically you are given all types of sattvic dishes, sattvic ahar. But you have to go further. Deeper ahar that you get is that which enriches your understanding, your personality. When four-aspected yoga begin to progress in your personality, you are receiving all these fruits. Fruit, flower is devotion, fruit is wisdom, dhyana is another aspect of similar foods, and karma, they are like variations of leaf, fruit, root, and tuber. यही विधि वासरत बीते चारी राम निरख नर नारी सुखारी. 4 days passed. They enjoyed this type of satsanga atmosphere. Men and women, all were so happy to have Rama's darshan. Duhu samaj ase ruchi man mahi, binu siya Ram firab bhal nahi. Both parties, party from Janaka, party from Ayodhya led by party from Janaka and party of Bharata, all have conviction in their heart that they will not go back without Rama. That was their whole project. Sita Rama Sangha Banavasu Koti Amarapur Sarisa Supasu. And even while in the forest, being with Sita Ram is better than abiding in millions of Devalokas. Devalokas are heavens, celestial worlds. You are being given a such deep, subtle understanding, allegorical, that being with Rama means bhakti, shakti, bhakti and mukti. You are attaining liberation. Being with Swarga, heavenly world, from where after exhausting your good karma, you are born again. The process continues. So even millions of that blessing of heaven is little compared to darshan of Rama that promotes liberation, mukti. Dahin dayu hoi sab jab sabahi Rama samipa basiya banatabahi. And this was their internal cherished wish. If God were to be agreeable to them, if it pleases God, let them stay with Rama as long as Rama abides in the forest. Mandakini majjanu tihukala Rama darasamud mangalamala. They have the opportunity of taking bath in sacred Mandakini river 3 times, morning, evening, and in the middle of the day. It's called 3 sandhyas. Atanu Rama Giribana Tapasathal, Asanu Amiyasam Kandamula Pal. And this provided the opportunity, a sacred opportunity of pleasantly passing through the forest of Ram Ashram and enjoying the glory of the mountain, Kamadanath, giver of all desires, and having wonderful food, Kandamul Phal, that was like nectar. Even living there for 14 years will be just a moment, because when we enjoy happiness, intense bliss, the question of time doesn't arise. Rather, time begins to run faster and faster as your happiness grows profounder and profounder. In other words, in the highest attainment, there is absolute joy, and time doesn't exist. And this doesn't require hard work to understand. Daily, when you go to sleep, in sleep, all troubles move away from you, and you hardly know how long have you slept. Time doesn't matter. Time, space. यही सुख जोग न लोग सब कहीं कहाँ अजस भागु सहज सुभाएं समाज दु रामचरण अनुरागु. And they were so wonder-struck with their experience that they can't believe it. Are they so ready to have this type of divine fortune? How can all this be possible for us who are so little? Both parties, Ayodhya party and Janakpuri party, they are all inundated by divine love for Sri Rama. यही विधि सकल मनोरथ करही बचन सप्रेम सुनत मन हरही. This was their manorath, their internal wish. And on that basis of that internal wish, their words were filled with love for Rama. And it was most enchanting for the mind of anyone. सिय मातु तेहि समय पठाई दासी देखि सुअवसरु आई. Now, following now the storyline, the mother of Sita, Sunayana, Queen Sunayana, sent her maid servants to Kaushalya Devi, mother of Rama. The purpose is to meet Kaushalya, the meeting between the queens in Janaka's side and queens from the side of Ayodhya. Savakas suni sab siye sasu ayav Janaka rajara nivasu. Having found that all the mother-in-laws of Sita Devi, mother-in-laws are Kaushalya, Sumitra, Kaikeyi, that they were relaxing. So the maid servants arranged them, the queens of Janakpuri to meet the queens of Ayodhya. Kaushalya Devi, Kausalya Sadar Sanamani, Asan diye samay samani. Kaushalya Devi welcomed them, gave them proper respect, gave them seats. Shilu sanehu sakal duhu ora, dramahi dekhi suni kulish katora. On both parties, there's so much expression of gentleness and love. They were as if embodiments of graciousness. Such presence can melt even a thunderbolt type of a hard heart. Their bodies were thrilled. Their eyes filled with tears of love. They are all seated together, and in their state of ecstasy, with the nails of their feet, they are just scratching the earth. They are little details. And they began to think within themselves, Sab siya Ram preeti kisi murati, jatu karuna bahu besa bisurati, siya matu ye kaha vidhi buddhi baki, jo paya fenu fora pavitanki. All of them became embodiment of love for Rama. Rama Bhakti, expressing in all of them. As if Karuna Devi, the Devi of compassion, has come in many forms. Siya matu kaha ki vidhi buddhi baki, yo paya fenu fora pavitaki. The mother of Sita, Sunayana ji, said, Brahma's intellect is very twisted, crooked. It is Brahma who has caused Rama and Lakshmana and Sita to be in the forest. Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, who are as gentle as the foam that you see in milk. And they have been now brought into thorny, harsh forest. Suniya sudhat dekhiye garal, sab kar tu tim karal, jahan taha kaak ulu kabak, manas sakrit maral. It's hard to find nectar. Everywhere poison seems to manifest. All the works of Vidhata are terrible. Everywhere one could see not beautiful birds, but crows, owls, and ugly ducks. Swans can be found only in the Manasa lake, far in the Himalayas. But what's the subtle philosophy behind it? Brahma's world, Brahma Vidhan, versus Ishvara Vidhan. Brahma's world means staying under the grip of karma, karma bandhan. Brahma's world means staying trapped by the cycle of birth and death. So no matter how wonderful Brahma's world may present, any condition can give you a lot of prosperity, lots of all types of worldly attainments. But you are led by karma. In the midst of all your attainments, you can pass away and be born in the same area of your attainment after some time and wonder at someone nearby who has been so rich and famous. In other words, your own history becomes a distant story. Again, subtle point to allow your mind to do vichar, inquiry, and subtle reflection, and to see the difference between not being a yogi, not being a sadhaka, but simply staying with a mind, doing certain righteous deeds, but with the idea of heavenly enjoyment. Swarga being your goal. Then if that is so, real happiness will not be possible. Everywhere in Brahma's world, frustration after frustration. And what you thought it was cuckoos and parrots and peacocks. Instead, you will be seeing crows, owls, and ugly ducks. सुनि ससोच कहा देवी सुमित्रा विधिगति बड़ी विपरीत विचित्रा. Those statements were made by Kaushalya, and Sumitra Devi started saying that Brahma's activity is extremely crooked and frustrating. जो सृजि पालई हरई बहोरी बाल केली सम विधि मति भोरी. Look at Brahma's stupidity. He creates the whole creation. Only everything that he creates must also come to an end. Everything that he creates is shara, perishable. So what type of creator is he? The intellect of Vidhata, Brahma, is childish. Means there is no viveka there. Because if you are viveka, developing vivek, discriminative understanding of distinction between self and not self, if that vision starts, you don't belong to the world of Vidhata. With belonging to the world of Vidhata or Brahma means staying sakamya, staying in the world of pravritti, and developing Godward movement for liberation that is characterized by Viveka Buddhi, increasing discrimination between self and not self. If you don't have Viveka, then you are confined to this Brahma's world. You have no other choice. And that would lead to countless cycles of birth and death. No matter how wonderful your life must have been, but in the passage of time, it is just extremely little. कौशल्या कह दो सुन काहू कर्म विवश दुख सुख अति छाहू अति लाहू कठिन कर्म गति जान विधाता जो शुभ अशुभ सकल फलदाता. Kaushalyaji says that it is nobody's fault, because they are all pointing their finger to who did what to cause Rama to be in this state of being in the forest. Kaushalyaji says it's nobody's fault. Pleasure, pain, gain, loss, all these are based upon the karmas performed by every individual. You will experience pleasure and pain led by your karma. Don't blame others. Gain and loss. Difficult to understand the law of karma. Brahma alone knows. He is the giver of pleasure and pain based upon good karmas and evil karmas. Good karmas, then you get a lot of pleasure. Evil karmas, lot of pain. If you got a lot of pleasure and prosperity, you are not indebted to anyone. Your karma brought it. You get a lot of pain and adversity, don't blame anyone. Your karma. In other words, blame yourself. I'm joking. Blaming yourself implies understand you are the architect of your destiny. You have stayed in the world of Brahma, in the trap of cycle of birth and death. And it is you who can break this cycle and attain liberation. So, your attention must move towards your own self. Who am I? How is God moving through me? And your practice of integral yoga. Otherwise, you will be wasting time looking at politics, who should be doing what. Hating so many people, the news begins to bring out the stories of different characters and how they behave. And you spend your whole day chatting about them. Everything has practical reality, but your ideal, the deal should not be to stay with all that gossip, news that go on day by day. But your focus should be your own improvement. How can I improve yourself? And in that, a basic understanding that you are not helpless. Good news, you have created this. And you can undo it and make it better. You are the architect of your destiny. Both ways. If your destiny is with your limited mind to stay in the world of karma, yes, you can improve your karma. But if you consider your destiny liberation, yes, you can do so by going to an ashram, developing spiritual qualities, practicing integral yoga, and with this I will conclude. Om Ram 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 Om Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Ras grace over all, the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukma Bandhanan मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात्। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मां कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम।